Well, professionally, I've my degree's in psychology, and I've worked in the mental health system in Texas for years. Probably about 17 years. Right out of college, I worked for Gulf Coast MHMR. I worked with people suffering from chronic mental illness in order to keep them in the community and out of hospitals. And then I worked my way up through the TDMHMR system at the state hospital, and then through the Department of State Health Services Administration, where I specialized in quality management and utilization review. What that means is I reviewed and monitored public mental health systems for the treatment that they were supposed to provide, and also for expenditures. For instance, if they were billing general revenue services instead of Medicaid. And I monitored private funding streams, Medicare, VA, whatnot. And then now I work in my family business when we contract with home health care agencies to provide all the social work. And that means, once again, it all goes back to health care, whether someone has Medicare, Medicaid, veterans benefits, all the way up through TRICARE, teachers' retirement systems, or some kind of private insurance or local county insurance. And my job is to help them with their benefits, perhaps get them better benefits, advocate for them with whatever company they have in order to make sure that they get the treatment they need. I've also been a private business owner. I owned a barn building company for 10 years, from 2000 to 2010, all up through the 25th District. And I worked with local lumber yards, feedlots. I ran cattle through the district, farmers building hay barns, horse barns, and whatnot. And so getting to know the people throughout the entire 25th District, from Fort Worth down to Wimberley, has been a big help in gaining support for the campaign. The experience I have in my personal life includes being married for 26 years to my wife Lizette. We were dating 3 years before then, so I counted as 29. And our daughter, who's 19 years old, was born and raised in the district. And we live in the district, by the way, which I think is really important, since the current representative doesn't do that, and most of my opponents don't live in the district. She's in college right now at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., majoring in pre-med on an Optimist Club and a Rotarian Club and a National Hispanic Honor Society scholarship. It's the funding for her college, and I think for all colleges, need to really be brought up to date. We're able to afford her to go to a really elite private college on a social worker's salary, and my wife works for Department of State Health Services as well, primarily because of the funding system they have set up at these private colleges, which I think we really need to transfer to public colleges. So, personally and professionally, that's where I am. The district is pretty diverse. It's been gerrymandered to include a good chunk of Austin and Travis County, which is urban and suburban, but geographically it's extremely rural and relies heavily on farming and ranching. So, and also the largest military base in the world, y'all might know, Fort Hood. So veterans benefits and how we treat our veterans is very important for this district. I specialize in veterans benefits and helping people get on disability, helping bump up from 30 to whatever percent we can get them for disability in order to get them the benefits they need, working with TRICARE, which is a really wonderful program, and other family issues regarding people that are receiving veterans benefits. One of the initiatives I want to promote, and once I'm elected to Congress, is to expand Medicare and give veterans a special category, a veterans Medicare benefit, specifically for veterans located in rural areas that don't have access to VA clinics. Now, this isn't for everybody, because there are people that love their TRICARE or love the veterans disability that they have right now, and it's working out great. But just to present them with an option to have a little bit wider coverage base in a rural area where they don't have to travel 100 miles to clean or wherever they need to go to get their basic care. This will also cover their copay and their prescription drug meds, and support local hospitals. And rural hospitals are being closed left and right in Texas, so we need to bolster those. The second thing, water and land rights. A lot of people in the suburban areas of Austin and in Fort Worth don't really understand how important this issue is. The Farm Bureau is a very strong supporter of these rights, and I'd like to work hand in hand with the Farm Bureau to make sure that farmers and ranchers have all the water they need for their businesses to support America and to support our food economy, as well as the cities that need water just for drinking and also daily living. I think it can all be done. To do this, I think we do need to fight some of the corporate farming, like the Monsanto mergers that are going on now that are being promoted. I think these are going to be the downfall of family farms and ranches. Monsanto has patented many seeds that now are somewhat predatory to our farmers, and it's going to be going that way for cattle. With DNA and genome testing, that's the next thing down the line, and we really need to prevent that. The cattle industry will take a huge hit if it goes the same way as the farming industry is going. The third thing, excuse me, is healthcare. I talked about the Veterans Administration issues earlier and how I want to expand that. Well, with healthcare, everybody's medical care is going up. I mean, there are some people that are retired that are set now, and they've got some great programs with their Medicare and their supplemental insurance, their teacher's retirement and supplement, things like that. Some people are very happy with their insurance, and we don't need to change that at all. I don't think we need to make any changes if someone is happy with what they have. Most people, though, are seeing increases in the cost of their co-pays, their co-insurances, as a lot of it's called now, and just out-of-pocket expenses in general that are adding up every time they have to go get a prescription or see a doctor or just pay their monthly bill. We can do this. We can do this through a variety of means. Expanding Medicare to different demographics, through teachers, through veterans, and then lowering the age of eligibility for Medicare. Now, Medicare is not a system where you've paid into it all your life and there's this chunk of money waiting for you to use. Medicare is being paid by taxpayers right now. If you're on Medicare and you're getting benefits through Medicare and you're using some medical service, there's some taxpayer out there that's paying for that, along with whatever you're paying. And when you were paying taxes before you were on Medicare, you were paying for someone else's Medicare. That's how it works. We can make the system far more efficient by letting CMS negotiate prescription drug prices on a free market basis, just like anybody else in the free market, instead of having these restrictions that don't allow CMS to negotiate prescription drug prices. We can have better utilization review and financial management for service providers, do longer term contracts instead of the yearly contracts that we have with service providers and hospitals, make it for 3, 4, maybe 5 years, so they know what kind of income they're getting and Medicare knows what they're paying out. There are many cost-effective things that we can do with our current systems in place that will help people lower their medical costs. I have really wonderful co-candidates in this race. All 4 of them are fine and upstanding people. They're very honorable, and they've got similar goals that I have. Being that this is an extremely red district and has always been this very red district since it's been gerrymandered, it's going to be very difficult to win this. We have a wonderful blue wave coming through, and we have this, great insurgents of Democrats that have finally figured out that they actually need to get out and vote, and they need to promote other people to get out and vote. So we need to use that. And then whomever gets the nomination through the primary process on the Democratic side of the political spectrum is going to get that support. That's a given. We know that. In order to win this district, we also have to get the vote of the purples, the people that never affiliated with the Republican or the Democratic Party. They've always voted somewhat moderate. We need a candidate that can appeal to these voters, and that's why I entered the race. Even after my 4 co-candidates have been running, was because I can appeal to this crowd, this moderate crowd. Once again, as I mentioned, we'll all get the blue vote. We need someone that'll get the purple vote, and that's what I'll be able to do. Roger Williams is the current representative. Most people in this district have never seen him or even know who he is. He's done very little for the working class people of this district. We have 40% of the children in this district on CHIP, and that's being threatened. And Roger Williams has voted it down every time it's come up. 40% of the kids in this district, and their health care is being threatened. Now, they will get health care at the local emergency room, and the local tax base will have to pay for that because they don't have the money to do it. CHIP is spread out across the entire nation, and it's an affordable program that we should be taking advantage of in this district. And Roger Williams is threatening it right now. So if we bring this message to the people, to the voters, to the moderates, the people that have finally gotten over their hangover from what they did last time, then I'm the person that can win the general.